So it looks like Bheki Cele was embarrassed by another white boy. Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the News in 5. I'm your host Joe Emilio. Thanks for tuning in. So before I get to how Bheki Cele was embarrassed, let me just first mention what is going on currently in South Africa. Farm murders are somewhat of a contentious topic because, well, the ANC chooses to ignore them.
There are no killings of farmers or white farmers in South Africa.
And the more and more they happen, the more and more people are getting worried and upset, and they should be. But it seems like over the years, Bheki Cele, the police minister of South Africa, seems to just ignore the problem, constantly giving promises, or empty promises I should say, with no substance whatsoever. And the lobby group AfriForum has done many attempts to try and offer solutions to the problem, but again, Bheki Cele just ignores them completely. Recently, in a previous episode, you would remember that I live streamed with Jock Budrek, who's a spokesperson at AfriForum. He was on the show and we discussed the recent report that AfriForum has put out. I'll leave a link to that in the description, and some really upsetting information came out in that report showing that most of the farm attack or farm murders in South Africa don't even get solved. So there's a real serious problem with farm attacks in South Africa. There has been for many years, and AfriForum is getting hutful. Here is Jock's project at the Union Buildings. I'm going to let him explain what they were doing there.
AfriForum is at the Union Buildings today to hand over a memorandum to President Cyril Ramaphosa. In this memorandum, we make it very clear that government and the president's denial of farm attacks and farm murders in South Africa will no longer be tolerated. We also made it very clear that AfriForum will continue to expand our civilian safety structures and continue to train more volunteers and civilians on how to defend themselves and their communities. Just this past weekend, a 14-year-old kid was murdered in cold blood in his farmhouse. Not a word from government. And this will no longer be tolerated.
That's right, you heard correctly. A 14-year-old boy has recently lost his life in a farm attack / murder. And this is just appalling, and not one word from government. But then again, government doesn't really say much about the deaths in South Africa. I mean, after all, if they had to, they'd be on a constant live feed apologizing or giving condolences for every murder that happens in South Africa, because there's about 70 murders a day in South Africa. But that doesn't mean that the government shouldn't at least show that they care even just a little bit. Which brings me to this clip, which went a bit viral on social media.
Mr. Bheki Cele, you are standing in front of a community that's worried. Where's the answers we've been waiting for? Not only on farm, not only talking about farms now, because this whole thing here has been pushed a little bit aside instead of farm murders. What's happening in our communities? Every person standing here from Brits is fearing for their lives every single day, and they are not getting the answers that they need. Why? That's a good question. So you're a politician, a minister, you are set here to serve this community, not scare them or intimidate them. You're here to serve this community. What is going to be put in place to stop farm murders? We want that answer while the community is standing here. You guys should have figured it out by now. What is going to be put in place? We need action from you guys. And if you don't want to do action, give us the privilege to do it ourselves. Where's the commando corps gone to? That we've had on our farms, protecting our farmers day in, day out. They weren't hurting people. They weren't shooting white, black people on the streets. They were protecting the farmer and its assets. Looking after these people standing here. If you guys don't have the resources to do it, give us a bit of charge and we will do it for you guys. As easy as that.
I just want to point out a few things in this video though. Did you notice the guy with what pants are these? Can someone just please, why is this officer wearing these pants?
Wow, those are hideous.
Like, was it laundry day at his house? And remember, I said around 70 people die in South Africa a day. And while this is all happening, Bheki Cele is walking around with this, I don't know, really expensive shoes on. Look at them, all nice and shiny and polished. And he's just standing there with a real, I want to say face. Anyway, during this whole video, I can't help but look at Bheki Cele's face and just, I can see what he's thinking. Oh, better not say anything. Last time I said anything to a white boy, I lost my cool and now I'm in trouble.
You have a problem, Mr. Minister, because you are removed from reality that the rest of us face.
I think he's getting a bit of PTSD, if I'm honest. Now, of course, unfortunately, I don't know what Bheki Cele said after this, or if he said anything at all, but I imagine it went something like this.
Tomorrow, starting from yesterday, today, tomorrow and after, join the war, shoot and kill. And then later you ask who started the war.
Anyway, it doesn't matter what Bheki Cele says. We all know that what comes out of his mouth is just empty promises and lies. He's done absolutely nothing to help South Africans feel safer in South Africa. As Ian Cameron once said,
more than 125,000 people have been murdered in South Africa since you became the Minister of Police.
It is clear that the ANC doesn't give a damn about the farmers in South Africa. And before the anti-farm attack, farm murder brigade come after me, which they probably will for saying all this stuff, if you don't have a problem with farm attacks or farm murders, like if that's okay to you, then you need to do some self-reflection, because then the problem isn't me, it's you. You're part of the problem. Anyways, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd really like to hear what you think of this one. And don't forget to check out my stand-up comedy special, Crossing the Borders. It was directed by Barry Hilton. The first run of the show can be viewed on this channel for free. And speaking of content, if you enjoyed this content, you might enjoy these videos. Don't forget to also like, share the video far and wide, and subscribe to the channel. I've got more content coming your way. With all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. I'll see you at the next one. Cheers.